No, the framing's all wrong. Oh, damn it. I can fix this. Everybody sit tight. Nobody move. I haven't been streaming on Twitch recently. My first Twitch stream in a while, and I come right back to burping in your faces. My bad. Classy as always. Hello everyone and welcome back. Pokemon Platinum. I have sat down and concretely made a plan going forward for our Pokemon content. Lately I've been kind of worried about like how am I going to play Pokemon on top of all the other games that I want to play? You know, how am I gonna do this? Alright, Quick Claw. Alright, so we have Shinx, Turtwig, and Starly. We're not technically done with the Pokemon Soul Silver playthrough, but we're at the end of it. The only thing left to do is to fight Red and maybe possibly check out the, I forgot what they call it, Pokathlon stuff. But I'm not in a hurry to check that out because that was one of the things I just couldn't get into back in the day when I first played through it. We'll see. We'll put a pin in that. That'll be a wait and see kind of thing. I'm also still trying to figure out how I'm going to go forward with streaming because we've been on YouTube for 7 years, but we've been on Twitch for what, 5, 6, something like that. I definitely started out on YouTube, but we started streaming on Twitch because Twitch was kind of the de facto go-to place for streaming. It's where everybody is watching. It's where the eyeballs are. So lately I've been playing with the idea of possibly considering maybe mulling over the possibility of thinking about maybe just switching over to YouTube full time. But I don't know. We have grown stagnant on Twitch. And a lot of that could be because every day I'm lazy when I go live and I don't bother to really put in the hashtags and other tags, and we just kind of, as long as the title is right, let's go. You know what I mean? So I might actually start taking the time to put a little bit more care and effort into it. Let's see. For some reason, when I sat down and turned all this stuff on, Streamlabs, the DS, everything, all the framing was wrong. So if you see me playing with it, I'm trying to get it back to where it's supposed to be. All right, NDS bottom. We'll get there. Yes, indeed, we will figure it out one day. We'll figure it out one day, my friend. We'll figure it out. Now this is, you might as well settle in because this is probably going to be a hefty long playthrough, just like Soul Silver turned out to be. Like I said, you guys, I really want to really explore every nook and cranny that these old games have to offer, because I kinda did, kinda didn't back in the day. You know, I got all 8 badges, finished the Pokemon League, and then from there, it was more a matter of like trading, battling, catching everybody. It wasn't as important to me to go into every cave and do all of the side stuff like the contests. That just didn't matter to me. And I was trying to catch that Budu. I didn't mean to faint the little tyke. He just did that on his own. Shit. We're too good. We're too good, folks. We're too good. We'll just use Bidoof, Bidoof. We'll just use our Bidoof. People have referred to their Bidoofs over the years as HM slaves. I don't like that word. I don't like that word. That word has very terrible, inhumane connotations attached to it, and I don't horrible, evil stuff. I don't like that word. So I try not to use HM slave as a term. HM helper? That sounds better. It's like I said recently, I'm trying to catch myself anytime I say something, you know, that we just don't say in polite society anymore. Gypped is one that I'm having a hard time remembering not to say, because it's short for a slur, and I don't want to keep using it. Pokeball, sending out Pokeballs. Now, I don't remember how Voodoo evolves. I want to say it might be friendship. I don't know. I know we need one for the Pokédex. Pokédex. And we need one for the Pokédex. Sensitive to changing temperature, the bud is set to bloom when it feels the sunswarm touch. I did something today, folks, that I've not done in ages. I woke up, and as soon as my feet hit the floor, I was gone. I set out on quite the little adventure. I think I spent the better part of 2 hours. I was out playing Pokemon Go. They added Pokemon Sword and Shield starters, Gen 8, Galar starters to the game today, and Shiny Wooloo, but I didn't care as much about that. I was able to find a couple of decent starters. So I think I have a decent Grookey, Sobble, and Scorbunny. And then I have each one of them evolved once. But I'm still trying my best to find a decent Grookey and Scorbunny so that I can evolve them all the way. Because I really wanted to try and find a 3-star at least. But at this point, after 2 hours of searching and not finding any of them, I might just have to accept it. I came home, my phone was at 35%. When I woke up, it was at 100. So my phone's at that stage where its battery life is not great, and it's not even paid for. I financed my phone. I tell you how broke poor I am. It's a $100 phone that I had to finance, and I've been using the patron money to pay for it every month, which the payments are like $6. How insanely poor do you have to be that you can't afford $6 a month? Yo, right here. But yeah, we had a lot of technical difficulties yesterday. The internet was acting up again, as it always does. The controllers were acting up. Everything was acting up. So our good old buddy, old pal, old friend Tyler, Lord Rand 11, hopped on Parsec and was able to help me with some stuff. I think the orange Xbox controller is just broken beyond salvaging at this point, so it might be time to just let her go. I cleaned it out with isopropyl alcohol, as well as a can of air and Q-tips. I was very careful to clean it out thoroughly and carefully. The drift is still there, so I cut it loose. We're just going to use this controller for as long as she lasts. This is the Pro controller for the Switch. Officially licensed. I didn't buy a knockoff. I don't buy knockoff controllers anymore. There are a lot of things in life where you can get away with using store brand. Now, we buy store brand on a lot of stuff. We buy store brand food, store brand toiletries, things like that. We're not hoity-toity here at my house. We'll manage. Few things I don't skimp on is my Dr. Pepper. Store brand, off-brand sodas just aren't the same as the real thing. I tend to try my best to buy name brand. I like to get brand name toothpaste, and I like to get brand name shampoo. Now, obviously, I went bald earlier on in life. I went bald in my late 20s, but I still usually have a pretty thick beard, and I end up being quite a flaky dandruff son of a bitch. So I use Head and Shoulders pretty much almost daily. I don't condition it every day, but every few days I'll put Head and Shoulders conditioner in it, but I do wash it every day. Now, back when I had the long beard, like if you go to Instagram and looking at back in 20 or 21, I had the long beard. It got to the point where I couldn't wash it every day. It just took too long and the hot water would run out because we have a tiny baby water heater in this house. But yeah, that's what I try my best to do. Stick to like name brand on things I think matter. So my soaps, my toothpaste, shampoo, my Dr. Pepper, those are all things that I insist on name brands for. And my controllers. When it comes to like floss or toothbrush, I'll get generic store brand. I think I use Equate floss picks. A lot of our food is like Great Value, Walmart brand. So I'm not too picky about that kind of stuff. It's just, there are just some things in this world where name brand matters. You know what I mean? It's like cars. When it comes to cars, best thing you can do is buy yourself a Honda of some sort. Get yourself a Japanese made car or maybe a German made car. I know people shit all over them, but Kia, you know, South Korea's brand, is decent. I don't know why people give it a hard time. You want to know whose cars break down constantly? Americans. American made cars. Constantly on the side of the road. Do yourselves all a favor and get yourselves a Japanese car. I think the best brand of vehicle I've ever seen in my entire life are Hondas. Honda, buy yourself a nice, decent Honda. Don't get something super elaborate. Don't get the cheapest thing you can get. Buy a mid-grade Honda. That fucker will last for 50 years. There are still Hondas from the 70s and 80s on the road. I see them from time to time. Those little sons of bitches were made to last. And I know it's a cliche. People are like, oh, they don't make blank like they used to. It's true. The further we get into human history, the cheaper shit that we buy gets. It just doesn't hold up anymore. All right, we definitely are going to need double team. Remember how handy double team and smoke screen came in? How handy it was when we were in Johto. I'm still working on the Pokédex. Working on the Pokédex in Soul Silver. I worked on it a good bit last night. I finished up the starters. So I haven't ported everything over to Platinum just yet. I'm a gonna though. I'm a gonna. I just need some time. Kricketot! Kricketot and Kricketune are extremely underappreciated. I didn't like their designs back in the day, but something about catching them in Pokemon Go and then using in... I think I relied heavily on Kricketune in Legends Arceus. That was, yeah. I was happy about that. Turned out to be a really good Pokemon. Okay, let's see. Level 13, 14, 14. Okay, we'll just leave Starly out there. 'Cause I wanna catch some stuff. Another Bidoof. I guess I kind of do need a secondary Bidoof for the living decks. smack. One of the things I really want to do for this playthrough is raise our Bidoof up into like an uber powerful Bibarel that nobody sees coming. I might do that. What do you guys think? I know nobody's here in chat at the moment, but I'd like to think if anybody were here, be able to give me an opinion. I might have ran everybody off, I'll be honest with you. The inconsistencies lately, is he going to be live on YouTube? Is he going to be live on Twitch? Is he going to be live this evening? Is he going to be live tomorrow morning? When's he going to be live? I've been really inconsistent now recently for a few months, and it's it might be what's kind of driving people away. And I've been raging like I recently stopped taking antidepressants. I'd been on them for like 7 years, and we kind of determined that I no longer needed to be on that kind of medication, so I came off of it. And now I feel all my emotions to the nth degree again. If I see something moving and heartwarming, I cry like a baby. If the slightest little inconvenience happens in my day, I rage like a lunatic. So I got to get that in check. I think the worst rage that I've had so far was yesterday's stream, which I ended up deleting. And I don't know if I'll end up using it or not. What I might end up doing is like editing it down. I'll probably end up having to edit that stream down and like record some new footage to go with it. I think that's the best way to salvage that playthrough, because your boy was mad. But last night I took some time, had a little chat with my old brain up here, and I said, you can't do that anymore. You can't. You're gonna end up saying something TOS or pissing somebody off. You can't. Now, thankfully, in my own personal life, I don't use slurs, so I don't really have to worry about like slipping out a slur, but I still could say something TOS. I could like maybe advocate for, I don't know, punching somebody in the face. You never know. You never know. Let's try and get rid of one Pachirisu at a time, because they keep picking on Bidoof. Dun 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 dun. Not my attack machine. You know what? I've had enough of this. Come back, Bidoof. Get him, Shinxie. Get him. Get him. Dun, na, 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 na. Everybody focus their attention on one Pachirisu at a time. There we go. Oi. Please return. And smackle. Smackle them. Smackle her. Oh, look at the doggy. I will be 82 years old and still say, oh, look at the doggy. Aw. Sorry, for those of you who don't know, there's a door here, like a glass door, and I can look out it and see down the street. Because the door is on the side of the house. It's just the way they built this house. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, this room used to be the carport. It was like an open carport. It wasn't a garage that you pull into and close the door. It was kind of just like you'd pull into the driveway, pull up, and you go up under, you know, the carport here. And my mom wanted to start a business years and years ago. She wanted to something she could like work from home, you know. So she was going to start a little daycare, and they closed in all the walls and made it into another room. They put a bathroom in back there. What am I doing? Focus. Losing foe. Dun, 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 dun. I guess our dogs have discovered the other dogs out in the neighborhood, and they're going crazy. Bug and grass type Pokemon creep you out. Are you guys crazy? This town is amazing. We're surrounded by flowers. How could you not like this place? This is great. Bunch of titty babies. Titty babies. See what's on the telly. Well, we need some Pokeballs. We definitely do. We're running out of crap. Now I can't buy any potions. I will say one of the things that I do not care for in modern Pokemon games is the fact that they just abandon the berry trees altogether. Now you just randomly see like a shining spot on the ground. You walk up, press A, oh, it's a berry. Like, modern Pokemon doesn't hit the same. It's not great. You know what I mean? These old games have heart, soul. And I'm not just saying that was nostalgia, rose-colored glasses. These games were great. Modern Pokemon games don't make a damn lick of sense. So many bizarre decisions. I mean, there are improvements, yes, don't get me wrong. I do like the open world concepts. I like that the Pokemon are visible on the map now, on the world map, instead of like the old school game, RPG of just running into something. I also like the fact that the shinies are visible on the overworld. It does make it a little bit, kind of takes away a little bit from the aspect of finding a shiny. Because when you found a shiny back in the old days, that was a triumphant event, you know? It was something to celebrate. Oh my God, a shiny! These days, it's like, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, yep, right over there. There's another one. They hand them out like candy, and I know I've said that in like every Pokemon playthrough that I've done, but goddamn, I'm not wrong. Pokemon Go is the biggest offender, or the worst offender with the shinies. They try to entice people to play and spend money on that game by making shinies available for certain events and stuff like. I wish that I could go back in time and tell younger me, maybe avoid Pokemon Go. Yes! You know, I can't say that. I've had too many good memories with Pokemon Go. I just wish they didn't hand the shinies out like candy. I'm doing great. I went out and played Pokemon Go, ironically enough, since I'm sitting here shitting on it. I went out and played it for like 2 hours. They released all of the Gen 8 starters today, and I'm still working on them. I can't find a 3-star to save my life. Not hypnosis. Yeah, like I was telling you in Discord last night, I think that the past couple of months in my life have been very tumultuous. There's not been any consistency whatsoever. I've been randomly streaming on, like, it's random. I could be streaming on Twitch. I could be streaming on YouTube. You never know where I'm going to be. You never know what's happening. I figured it all out. I know what we're going to be doing now. I don't want to say yet on stream. I'll tell you later in the Discord. But I think I figured out how I'm going to operate going forward. I just got to see about a few things. I need to go in and overhaul our channel points. I need to see what they look like. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. This Glameow is really chewing me up. Yeah, that stream yesterday was unacceptable. You know, even by my standards, it's like, I can't get that mad on stream anymore. I can't. It's going to chase people away. It's not healthy for me. Nobody wants to see it. I know what I'm doing here isn't exactly super professional. We're just chilling and hanging out. We're just a dude. I'm just a dude on the internet playing video games. But still, I need to have some modicum of like decency and respect for the audience. And raging and screeching and reeing the way I did yesterday is not it. That's just not it. So I woke up today with some clarity on the matter, and things are going to be better. I'll make it show. Damn. Why you gotta keep putting me to sleep, Glameow? Exactly. Exactly. I gotta find that little spark of hope somewhere deep down in me that's gonna make me happy again and make me want to live. I'm working on it. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. Get him, Shanks. You'd asked me last night if I had any intentions of finishing Pokemon Soul Silver on stream. I haven't really made up my mind. I thought I'd made up my mind, but I haven't. One of the things I did end up doing last night is I worked on the Pokédex a little bit. I worked on the I worked on the Johto starters. I worked on our Chikorita, Totodile, Cyndaquil. I worked on those last night. So that's done. I Googled it. Did you know that it's super hard to find all the Johto Pokemon inside of a Johto game? Weird, right? We'll have to come back here Friday and catch Drifloon. He slammed the door on us. How dare you? Well, I gotta go heal, little girl. Little girl. Little. Dun, 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 dun. Johto is the Kanto DLC. Kinda. I guess we could laugh. These days we could sit back and laugh and say, yeah, pretty much. Like in hindsight, you know, now that we know what DLC is. Oh crap, I gotta go, let's see what we could find in the grass first. Shellos! Get him, oh crap, even Bidoof is a lower level. Okay. Not Harden. No. Well, in other good news, at least the other day when I went to the doctor's office, they told me I'd lost 8 pounds. I'm losing something. Along with my mind. Yeah. So I'm really going to be trying to focus on, I need to focus on putting my stream back together, getting back into the groove of doing this on a regular basis, stop just floating between YouTube and Twitch at random. I need to sit down and come up with some sort of like, it doesn't need to be perfect and exact. Like it doesn't have to be like 4 p.m. every day without fail or 5 p.m. every day without fail. But it does need to, there needs to be some consistency there. So on top of, like I said, and like you said, and like that vlog I made said, finding my light is my current journey that I'm on in life. It's, I want to take the opportunity to fix a lot of underlying ongoing issues while I'm working on that at the same time. So sleep is really hard because I keep finding myself not wanting to lay down and go to bed at night. I find myself saying, well, let's just watch a few more YouTube videos. Let's just watch another stream. Let's just watch a movie. That I really gotta to muster some discipline on, you know. Really gotta work that out. Yeah, sometimes losing is a good thing. Wow. Okay, all right. We're gonna be that way about it, huh? I'll use Starly. Good thing I'm not using electricity. You know what? I'm gonna wait. I want to catch the Shellos in a pink Pokeball. We'll circle back around on this. I'm gonna knock you out for now so that we can start raising Bidoof. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm collectively gathering my shit, getting my shit together. Okay. All right, I'm working on it, little girl. Little girl. I was saying before you came in earlier, I'm thinking about taking this Bidoof that we have and raising it to be my strongest team member, just for goofs and gaffs. And I mean, Bibarel is a pretty good Pokemon. I know people give it a hard time. A lot of people just use it for HMs, but I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe we can break that. We can share the little brat stays quiet, we do. I know, this game's music. I'll shut up. I honestly think the Sinnoh region has my favorite music. Like, I'm pretty partial to Johto and Kanto, but I still think Sinnoh might have my favorite music. That did not do a lot. How did I catch a legendary Pokemon at the beginning of the game? Well, you're like to know. I had to search far and wide to find this legendary Pokemon. Not Zubat. I think we've already lost about an hour and a half of daylight now. With it being September, the days are starting to get shorter, and it sucks. I'm not a big fan of it. Of course, I don't remember when daylight savings occurs or we go off of it. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't. Daylight savings time is one of those things where I never know if we're in it or not. I didn't see this coming. Everybody's evolving so quickly today. Oh, damn. There you go, little buddy. I know, right? The evolution episode. I want to see if we can keep this going, see if we can evolve Turtwig today. I don't know what level Bidoof evolves. Bidoof. Don't know why I keep calling it Bidoof. Bidoof. All right, Team Galactic. More like Team Galactic failure. Yeah, go tell your boss. Eric is here. He's here to shut your shit down. Dun 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 dun. Zubit. How are you still only level 8? I swear. I probably should have started grinding you out faster. Yeah, I guess the Gigantamax's music is kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of the Area Zero music. I mean, it's good music. It's just not my taste. It's not that it's bad. The Area Zero music gives me anxiety. I don't know why. It's reminiscent of like 70s sci-fi, Japanese sci-fi. Like Godzilla or some other monster movie. I don't know. Again, it's not bad music. It's just not my taste, my style. So it gives me anxiety, the Area Zero music. So I tend not to spend a lot of time down there unless I have to. I don't shiny hunt down there like I probably should. I'm sorry. I think the best music I've ever heard in Pokemon ever is the Scarlet and Violet DLC for I can't remember the thing's name. The last batch of DLC, the one with the Patchaberry, the purple poison guy, where everybody was like doing the chicken dance. That was hilarious. It was nice to see the developers kind of have a real sense of humor for a change, instead of being like so cut and dry all the time with the Pokemon games. Because let's face it, the stories have never really been a stronger part of Pokemon. We've always kind of been on the catching, battling, evolving, raising side of things. I've never given two shits about most of the stories, to be honest with you. At this point, I think a lot of people like the older Pokemon game stories just for nostalgia reasons. I don't think they actually stop and think about how silly they are. Of course, I'm not a huge fan of the modern game, the story in the modern games anyhow. I liked Sword and Shield well enough until we got to the two goobers with the short Sword and Shield hair. I was like, oh, come on. I thought that was too much. But looking back, you know, now with hindsight, I realized that I gave games like Pokemon X and Y, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, I gave them more shit than I should have. I think in the end they're really decent games. I don't think they're the greatest. They're on the lower tier of the Pokemon franchise for me, but I don't hate them as much as I did. And it's like I'm going through this really bizarre thing in my life right now where I'm kind of waking up and I'm starting to understand just how poisoned our minds have become. And I gotta be real careful about how I say this because I don't want to shit talk somebody. The ability to sit down, watch a movie, and enjoy it, and just walk away and let that be the end of it, is something that people just don't do anymore. People have to get on social media and they have to talk about every aspect of the movie before it comes out. Then they have to make 12 YouTube videos in a row talking about the cast, the director, the location, filming locations, set dressings, all this nonsense. And it's been ruining my experience for me, and I haven't realized it up until now because I'm slow, I guess. But it's an epiphany that I've come to recently. It's like, I can't anymore. People are just so toxic. And I think it's caused me to be super toxic. Like, if you look back on all the streams I've ever done, all the YouTube videos I've ever made, how often do I shit talk something just because I heard somebody else shit talking something? How often is my opinion on something? Does that make sense? Like, I'm getting tired of always being negative, and I'm getting tired of hearing everybody around me always being negative. As I'm getting older, you know, reality really starts to set in your 30s, I believe. And you start to realize just how much of a shit you don't give about other people and their opinions at the end of the day. Like winning that fight, winning that argument with your coworker just doesn't seem as important as it did in your 20s or as a teenager. Winning that argument with your friend group over, you know, who's the best Smash Brothers player. That shit just doesn't hit the same when you're 40. It's not that deep, I promise. I promise you, young Eric from the past, it is not that deep. Let it go. If I could travel back in time and tell myself anything, it would be that, son, you need to just let it go. Your life will be so much better if you just do your own thing, try to be happy, let it go. And that is the most valuable thing that I've learned recently, or at least come to my senses on. It's like, nah, I'm good. I watched Longlegs the other day, Very interesting movie. It wasn't a 10 out of 10, but I didn't hate it. Although the internet told me I should hate it. Like every motherfucker on Threads and Twitter and everywhere else had an opinion about this movie and that movie. Thank God I'm not on Twitter anymore. Thank God I'm not on Facebook anymore. Those are very, very toxic platforms. By design, those platforms are there to give every smuck out there a soapbox to stand on. And at the end of the day, what I'm realizing now is that I don't care. I don't give a shit what your opinion is. Especially if it's overwhelmingly negative or even overwhelmingly positive. That's the thing too. A person can be toxic with positivity as well. You know, you get somebody who might it might be obsessed with a thing. I know that's something that I've learned. Like people with autism, people on the spectrum, aside, because I'm not going to shit. I'm not going to shit all over people with autism. They have what I recently learned are hyperfixations. So for them, it's just a way of life. And that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. If you're hyperfixation and you're autistic and you have a hyperfixation, it's totally fine. Like I can't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. But for the rest of us who maybe have that wall of Funko Pops over there in your house, maybe like I come to visit you and I walk in and your entire living room is nothing but toys and figures and a wall of video game memorabilia. Maybe just tone it down a little. Maybe take it down a little. Take it down just a little. But then again, there's the other side of that coin where it's like, who the hell am I to tell you what to do? You want to fill your house with Funko Pops, you go right the hell ahead. You know, it's not anything technically wrong with it. I think it looks tacky, but you do you, boo-boo. That's why I've stressed the hell over this damn shelf back here for so long. Because I keep going through this mental catastrophe in my head of like, am I an adult or am I a child? Do I have too many toys for somebody my age? You know, I struggle with that. I really do. But the current Eric is the evil one. Oh no. I went through a phase in my 20s where I was a real son of a bitch. You would have hated me. A lot of people did. I'm sure some still do. There's this thing in psychology where some people are just kind of like a tabula, what's it called? La tabula rosa or whatever the blank slate. I can't pronounce it in English. Blank slate. I'm one of those blank slate personalities where left to my own devices in a vacuum, I don't really have a personality that much. I'm very much a sponge. I've been told that I have the shit, I forgot what it's called. The dependent personality disorder, where I don't do too well by myself. Like I don't make a lot of real great decisions by myself. I tend to be a follower more than a leader, and it causes me to evolve or adopt the personality of the people I'm around. And since that's the case, I used to have this extremely toxic friend back in the day, and this friend led me down a really dark path. And I don't think I ever fully recovered, and I don't think that I will ever fully recover, because it messed up my personality. It messed up a lot of relationships with other people, and I was just a really negative, cynical, narcissistic son of a bitch. I thought I knew everything, you know what I mean? It was bad. My personality was really bad. But I don't know. going back to my original like point, I definitely think I'm in the era of just like, I don't want to hear a critic talk about a movie or a video game. I just want to enjoy it. I just want to have fun. You never know how many years you have on this planet, and spending time sitting down with a 12-panel discussion and critiquing and analyzing the hell out of something and picking it apart to the point where it's no longer recognizable. I don't have the energy anymore. I don't have the mental capacity to handle that anymore. I make one allowance, and that's Red Letter Media. Red Letter Media does that, but what they do is they sit down and watch old VHS tapes from the 80s and 70s and whatnot, and that shit's hilarious. That shit is funny. But I don't want to get, I don't want to pick up my phone, load Threads, because fuck Twitter, and I don't want to go to Threads and see everybody having a fucking opinion, like a negative opinion over the movie I just watched. So, like I said, recently I watched Twisters, Long Legs, Inside Out 2. Last night I watched a movie called Trap. It's M. Night Shyamalan's new movie. M. Night Shyamalan. It's his latest movie, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I kept waiting for the classic M. Night twist, and it never came, and I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was somewhat meta and brilliant, because every movie he's ever made, he's famous for being the director or the writer or whatever that puts a twist in every movie. And the fact that this movie didn't really have a twist was like, oh hell yeah, this is refreshing. I loved it. It was just a damn good movie. The thing is, and the same for Borderlands. I watched a Borderland movie the other night. It wasn't the best thing in the world. I give you that. But I had fun with it. For the little hour and a half or however long the movie was, I had fun. And, you explain it. Yeah. It's like having a ditto with the imposter. But yeah, I'm very much a ditto. Like, if you and I were to meet in person and hang out IRL, the more time that you and I hang out, the more that I take on your mannerisms. I adopt your laugh, your little personality quirks, your lingo. If you have like let's say you ran around and said dealio all the time. Hey, what's the dealio? You know, whatever 90s slang that I can't remember off the top of my head. I would very much quickly become you, another version of you. Now, in my later years, I'm trying to stop that behavior now that I'm aware of it. But back then I didn't realize I was doing it. So you can't really fix what you don't know is happening. So, I'm better with it these days, but, it reached the height of its, I guess the zenith of the whole thing probably would have been maybe 2015, 14 into 15. My buddy was staying here. I was giving him a place to live rent free because fuck landlords. And, so much of his personality and the shit that he was into became the shit that I was into. And, I won't make that mistake again in life. So that all ties back into, the theme of my life right now. Finding my light, finding myself. Who is Eric? Is he more than just a ditto that absorbs the personalities around him? Does he think for himself? Does he have a brain? These are all the questions I want to answer for myself. I want to be self-sustaining. I want to be able to make decisions for myself. I still have a bad habit of asking everybody what I should do. I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but like, especially in the Discord, I have a poll right now in the Discord that says, do you like watching me on Twitch or YouTube better? I'm sick in the head. I can't not ask other people's opinions on things. It's to my own detriment. Like, it's almost like I'm afraid to make a decision for myself and just go with it. It feels like I need the approval of 8 people before I can make a decision. And I really need to stop that. That's really unhealthy and sick. So I'm working on it. Um, but my recent decision in my life was to cut out like negative opinions. Now I'm not stupid. I know you can't just live in a bubble of no negativity. It's ironically a healthy part of life to have some cynicism and some negativity. You can't just go around living la da da la di da di da. No, there are going to be moments where you need to be able to think critically and call some bullshit out for the bullshit that it is. That is still necessary. That's just part of having the higher functions that we as humans have. You know, so it separates us from, I don't know, a pigeon. I suppose you could look at it that way. It's definitely going to be a lifelong process of just fixing these things, you know. You just got to stay diligent and keep working on it. We saved the valley when works, and now Driflim will come back. Drifloon? Yeah, Driflim is the evolved form. Drifloon will return. Looker! Look at the hooker. He's got to go in and investigate. Magnificent. Magnificent. Magnifico. Off he goes, apparently. Oh, we're poisoned. Yay! That was also a new thing they started in this generation. Sometimes the Pokemon would just randomly get over their own status ailments. They would kind of shake it off before they fainted. That I very much appreciated. But yeah, it makes me sad at the end of the day to think about how many things that I missed out over the past 2 decades. How many things I could have enjoyed. You know what I mean? How many books, TV shows, movies, how much music, how many video games, how many things have I missed because I didn't experience it for myself and formulate my own damn opinion? I am so embarrassed. You know what I mean? It's that's my nose so itchy. It's embarrassing. It really is. Like, to think that I can't sit down and formulate my own opinion, it bothers me. It makes me want to cry. It upsets me greatly. It's quite disturbing. And of course, here's the thing. I'm really easy to please. Like I said, go back and look at every video available on my YouTube channel. Listen to every opinion I've ever had. I can guarantee you that the majority of them might possibly be somebody else's opinion and not my own opinion, because I do it with streamers too. Because my life is so media heavy, a lot of times I'll get on a kind of I can't say hyperfixation because that's something else. I'll get fixated on certain streamers and I don't want to find new people to watch. I just want to watch the same people every day. So when I do that, again, their personality becomes mine. Their ways of speaking, their mannerisms, the words they use, the stuff they're into, and most importantly, their opinions. And it's going to be interesting going forward to peel back the kind of, how do I put it? To pull back the curtains and discover not only is it a journey of self-discovery, but you guys are along for the ride too. So it's going to be very fascinating for you guys to be able to kind of watch that unfold. And it's going to be very interesting for me to live it and experience it. But, you know, I'm 40 now. And I've spent too many years just being other people. And it's a sick in the head thing. I don't know why I do it. I don't do it on purpose. I don't do it with forethought or malice. It just happens. So it's going to be very interesting to find out who I am underneath everybody else's personas. It's a little creepy, honestly. I don't know what to expect. But the good thing is that I'm aware of all this now. So that's a good thing. Like, I could still be living in the dark and not know any of this. You know what I mean? It's scary to think that some people go through their whole life without having self-awareness that I'm having in this moment that I'm explaining to you guys. And that's not to shit on people. It's just sometimes you're lucky enough to something jars it loose, or somebody says just the right thing somewhere, or maybe you watch a video that teaches you about it. I don't know. It's I don't know. And that, see, that's important too, to remember that 40's not young, but it's also not old. There's still plenty of time left if I shape up and start to take better care of myself. I still have a long time, many years. I got decades ahead of me if I shape up. And I could really squeeze some fun out of that, you know? That's true. There is no tutorial for living. We just have to do the best we can. Unfortunately, I've not always done my best, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie, Trap. I thought it was phenomenal. It's a very interesting premise. You have a serial killer who has a family, of course, and he buys tickets to take his daughter to this concert, this music concert, and it turns out that the FBI has laid a trap. They've closed off all the exits, and they're going to find him. They don't know exactly who he is or what he looks like, so it's a bit of a game of like trying to figure it out. But it was a damn good movie. I enjoyed it. It goes places, and it's funny because, like I said, you expect it being an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You expect a twist, and then the twist never comes, which makes it meta, and that is a kind of a twist in of its own. I thought it was great. Oh, it was great. I will say that sometimes I think fear drives us to adopt other people's opinions. I know that was the case for me back in the day when I was hanging out with this very toxic person. To me, they sounded smart, and I was very self-conscious about my intelligence levels. I knew that I couldn't keep up with the conversation. I knew that I couldn't understand a lot of what other people were saying. So I just kind of adopted his bullshit, you know. I became really pretentious with it, you know. And it's one of the biggest regrets that I have. One of my biggest regrets. Because I can't, there's no telling how much media I've lost along the way and not enjoyed because some jackass ruined it for me. Because the internet right now is shitting all over the movies that I've been watching. The internet flamed the Borderlands movie. They flamed Trap. They flamed Long Legs. Like, nobody's liking these movies. I'm enjoying the hell out of them. I'm having a hell of a good time. I had fun watching them. But the internet, being the internet, everybody's got to stick up their ass. And not only do they have a review for you to listen to, but you just have to listen to it right now. Like... That YouTuber is the 1 millionth person to put their hot take on the internet, but you just gotta watch it right now. That thumbnail is screaming. It's clickbait. I can't anymore. I can't. I won't. Dun, dun, dun. Like I said, it's one of the best things anybody could ever do for you in life is tell you the truth. We get in our own way 9 times out of 10, and we just won't hear it. We're not receptive to it because we're not taught critical thinking as children. Fucking especially in the United States. I find the United States to be the most egregious of this. The worst offenders with this. I was never taught as a child by my parents, by society, by school, how to think critically, how to think for myself. If anything, I was purposely taught the opposite. I was indoctrinated, you know what I mean? Especially as an American. Oh, you're going to wave the flag and you're going to be a patriot and you're going to go to war and blah, 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 blah. No, that's not healthy, not only for that individual, that's not healthy for society. You really need to be out here teaching children and young folks how to think critically. I can't imagine where I'd be in life right now if I were taught as a young boy how to think critically. Because even as an adult, I have trouble thinking critically. It's a very hard habit to break. My personality and my brain very much still wants to just hear what you have to say and accept it as gospel without questioning it whatsoever. And that's sick. That's really awful. And I'm hoping that in time I can break out of that. I know a lot of people do. That's what I was saying. They just don't teach it like they should. Schools are too obsessed with teaching you algebra and teaching you like stuff that you're never going to use. They don't teach you life skills, which don't get me wrong. I still think you should be teaching the stuff that you're teaching. I just think that they need to add curriculum on top of it. Teach people how to write, teach people how to challenge, teach people how to do their, teach fucking people in high school how to do their taxes. Start there. Stop banning books. That also doesn't help. Looking at you, Florida. I guess, of course, to be fair, there's the whole issue of hindsight. As I was a kid, I was in school in the 90s. And one of the things that we heard constantly is, you're not going to have a calculator everywhere you go. You're not going to have a calculator in your pocket at all times. I laugh in 2024. Nobody could have known, but it's still funny to think about. There's literally a calculator on me at all times, just about. Again, not that it's not important to still teach the math, but I don't think we should give people a hard time if they have a learning disability towards it. I got a lot of shit for that when I was younger. People rode my case constantly because I couldn't. My brain just didn't work that way. I tried. That was a huge causer of stress for me when I was younger. Just, you know, I can't do this math. Why can't I do this math? Everybody else around me can do that. That was also something that crippled me as a human being when I was younger, was watching my peers excel and take off. And meanwhile, I'm back here struggling with various concepts and I'm having all this trouble. Nobody's helping. You know what I mean? Mental stuff's going undiagnosed. Learning disabilities are going unchecked and undiagnosed. It was rough. It was really rough. I want to cry. I'm sitting here almost tearing up thinking about it because you don't know the stress that it caused me. Let's see, will you spark? Well, we paralyzed it. I guess we could call Luxio haircut. We've made fun of everybody else's haircut. Roll out. Should I or shouldn't I? Sony is issuing refunds for what? For a game that was worked on for 8+ years and only been out for 11 days or so. See, now why? What happened? Was the game a mess, or was the game fine and the internet is the reason for it? Because that goes back to what I've been talking about while we've been sitting here for an hour and 20 minutes. A lot of people can work on something, a game or a movie or whatever, horrible sales. Yeah, see, I think that people have too much power these days. I think that people have too much say. And I blame social media for that. The game itself could be fine, but if you don't make it to the internet standards, Twitter's gonna come for you and it's gonna shut down your entire career. It's gonna cause not only your company to go bankrupt, but it's gonna cause each member of that company to be destitute, because now you have people who are trained for that industry and that industry alone, and they're not gonna be rehireable inside of their own industry till they end up, you know, way below their pay grade just to survive in another job. I hate it. And like I said, it goes back to everything I talked about earlier. It's just the general population's too powerful right now. And I know that's ironic coming from somebody who's as anti-capitalist as I've been recently. You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons we've made it this far in society has always been because the masses didn't have a voice. And I know that sounds awful, but at the moment that's proving to be quite a detriment to society. It got the orange jackass buffoon elected president. It brought Nazis back. It's regressed our way of life by decades. It's taken away rights from a lot of people. It's put a huge strain on minorities in general. And this isn't just the United States. Globally, there's just been this huge uptick in bullshittery. And a lot of it stems from the fact that social media has too powerful of a grasp, too far of a reach. And I hate that garbage. It's why I'm personally torn on cancel culture, because I find cancel culture to be 50% cancel culture and 50% consequence culture. So like if you get some sex pervert who gets exposed on Twitter, that's great. He's been exposed. Everybody knows that he's a terrible monster. But at the same time, like I said, you get a video games company whose entire future rides on the success of a release, and then the game comes out, and then it gets a terrible Splatty Tomato rating, or IGN burns it up in their reviews. Can we talk about how much I hate IGN, by the way? It's just, I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate all of it. And this is an honest Eric opinion and not something that I've heard somebody else say. This is a very vanilla, basic, coming from me train of thought. I'm thinking for myself on this one. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a bad thing. Because if we look at, like I said, how much media have I missed out on because the internet told me to? You know what I mean? We should definitely catch this weasel. Yeah, if they fail because of the pay-to-play model, that's on them. That's completely, totally the opposite of everything I just said. The max player count on Steam is 900. Well, there could be a number of reasons for that. They might not be a big enough company to support 2 million players at once online. Maybe they needed time to grow from 900 up to billions. Maybe there needed to be, there's so many maybes in that statement. I don't have enough information to say whether or not people shitting on it is justified. You know what I mean? Another Overwatch, Fortnite, Warzone, Apex Legend wannabe for Sony consoles only. So it's first party Sony. My only retort to any of that is, and I don't see the problem. I'm failing to see the problem. It's not great that there's a player limit of 900, but maybe the game, like, is the game designed for that in mind? Like, is it the end of the world if there's only 900 people able to join it? I don't know. I'm not understanding. Weasel! It spins its two tails like a screw to propel itself through water. The tails also slice clinging seaweed. Maybe I'm not following what you're saying. Confirmed 900 copies sold. Yeah, I think I got confused somewhere in your explanation. I'm not following. Well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's the nature of the game. Sometimes you spend millions on something and it flops. It happens. Unfortunate, but it happens. What I want to avoid, and I don't mind hearing about it, like, I'm not saying don't tell me things like that. What I was more talking about earlier in my whole spiel that I went off on is one of the things I want to change in life is not hearing that kind of stuff. And hell, we could even talk about it. I'm fine with that. What I don't want is to get on threads and see 1,000 different posts of everybody having some snarky ass, negative ass opinion over it. Oh yeah, well, this game failed because of the hubris of the company and blah, 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 blah. That. I don't want that. I don't want to hear that anymore. I want that to go. I'll talk with my friends about stuff, but social media is, I'm over it. I'm done. Like right now, and again, this is going to be one of those things I want to tiptoe around because I don't want to offend this particular content creator because I may actually I may need them in the future. But there's a content creator on YouTube, a Jurassic Park content creator. And if you go to their channel right now, you will see that they've put out a good 3, 4, 5 videos a week for months talking about the new Jurassic World movie that's currently being filmed. Now, if you're that super excited and tickled pink and you're making these videos strictly out of like excitement, wonderful. I have no problem with you being ecstatic over something you love. Something tells me he's chasing money. I see that a lot on YouTube. Oh, a new set photo came out today. It's time to put out 18 YouTube videos talking about this set photo and only this set photo and bringing nothing of substance to the community whatsoever. Which is why when I started my Jurassic World playlist on my YouTube channel, I was looking at content that was 5 years old, 7 years old. We were watching and reacting to videos on the official Jurassic World YouTube channel that were old about the existing movies. One of the things you are never, ever going to find me doing is sensationalizing media to the point where I'm making 12 videos a week about a new Metroid game just got announced, and now I need to make 12 videos getting hyped and excited for it. We don't do that here. And I find it highly annoying in my feed too, especially when I go to YouTube and I click on the subscriptions tab. And I want to, at the end of my day, when I sit down and I want to watch all the videos that the people I'm subscribed to have watched, and I want to unwind and kick my feet up, I'll say, okay, this reaction channel made a video about this. Oh, Pokemon Company released a commercial for this. You know, I'll go through all the videos that have been released, and this one guy will have a wall of content. It's about nothing. At the end of the day, it's about nothing. I hate it. It's a nitpick. It's a gripe, and I hate it. Oh, do I hate it? Like, I need the channel to stay up to date, but I'm honestly thinking about just ditching that channel and unsubscribing. Because I can't take it anymore. Let me see. I'll bring it up real quick. And again, I'm not going to name this YouTuber by name because I don't want to start shit. But I think it's important for the conversation that's being had right now. Let me see. I'm going to my subscriptions tab. Are Rexy and Blue dead? Did they survive Jurassic World? Okay. The 3 main dinosaurs in Jurassic World Rebirth. 11 minutes, 1 second. The Rexy video that I mentioned is 9 minutes, 9 seconds. Those videos are 1 day apart. Oh, they're not even 1 day apart. This was released 9 hours ago. This one was released 1 day ago. But, and then he released this one 2 days before that. Why Jurassic World Rebirth takes place in 2028. 9 minutes. Before that, he released a video a few days before that. Where'd it go? I know I saw it. Jurassic World Rebirth official logo revealed. Let's see. New set photos revealed. Something big. And it's in all caps. They're just clickbait videos. They're just clickbait. It's all just clickbait. Like, it's nothing of substance. And again, I feel bad shitting on it because it could just be somebody's hyperfixation if they're autistic. And it might not even be that. It could just be somebody who loves it so deeply that they feel compelled to make 20 videos on it. But the cynicism in my brain is telling me otherwise, and it's telling me that they're just trying to capitalize, because YouTube is designed to make you constantly fight the competition, as it were. You need to constantly have attention getting thumbnails. You need to so and again, like I said, it makes me feel like a bastard complaining about it, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I don't think I am. I mean, obviously it's just an opinion, but I think it's a valid opinion. You know what I mean? I love Jurassic Park a lot, but I don't love it that much. I don't love anything in reality that much. Not myself, not a person, not a place, not a thing, not a movie, not a game, not a franchise. I don't love anything in reality in existence enough to do that. I don't know. I think a lot of it too just boils down to being the nature of YouTube. Like I said, you know, you have to be able to stay relevant in the algorithm and to be able to get those clicks and to be able to get that coin. You have to produce stuff a certain way, and I'm good. That's why sometimes it could be a little embarrassing for me when people ask me what I do. Well, I'm already a little embarrassed that I don't have a career, a 9-to-5er, but I'm also doubly embarrassed when I tell people, yeah, I do YouTube or Twitch. And Twitch is more embarrassing than YouTube, but a lot of times people will ask me if what do you do for a living? I don't do anything. A lot of times I'll specifically avoid telling people that I do YouTube as a hobby because it's embarrassing. Because they're not going to think about my content. The first thing they're going to think about is what we were talking about a minute ago, the annoying side. Yeah. But it's like I said earlier, not every opinion can be positive. Sometimes you got to be a little critical of things. Sometimes you need to, and I don't know if the guy is self-aware. And again, I'm using this guy as an example. So many YouTubers do this, and I don't follow any of them because I don't like that format. This guy is literally the only YouTuber I subscribe to who operates in this way. And I'll be honest, I've kind of been thinking about it for the past week or so of maybe just unsubscribing and letting it go, because I just don't want, I want to go into the movie with minimal information. I don't want to see a ton of set photos. I don't want the whole synopsis read out to me. People are trying to do that with Beetlejuice, and I'm just not having it. Like, I'm staying off of threads as much as I can. And, because that movie comes out in 3 days, and we're going to see it as a group. I don't know what day we're going, but we're actually going to go to the theaters and watch the new Beetlejuice movie. And I don't want anything spoiled, so I'm having to tiptoe around. I'm having to rearrange my life because of people on the internet. You know, I don't want, damn it, I can't be switched out. Why can't I be switched out? Did I use rollout? I used rollout, didn't I? Why can't I be switched out? I wasn't paying attention. Did he use wrap or bind? That's it. Okay. Why isn't Rock Smash doing more damage? It's supposed to be super effective. Oh, because he spammed Screech so much. No, wait, that only lowers my defense. Alright, we'll just keep spamming it. We're just gonna keep on spamming it. Oh, no, we're not either. I'm out. Oh, oops. Uh-oh. Tell me I have elixirs. Oh, no! Oh, no! God damn it. I'm trying to raise this Buddha, you piece of shit. I don't have any revives either. We're way too early in the game for that. Right. You can't eat shit from this razor leaf. I also realized something the other day, and I feel real dumb that I didn't pay attention to this before. I honestly don't think I need a ring light. This TV is so massive that I am illuminated enough for it to count. I'll be honest with you. I've been talking almost nonstop for an hour and a half. I need a break. I feel a little winded. I'm feeling it in my sinuses. I've also upped my CPAP machine settings from 3 to 4 because I'm trying to play around with it and find a sweet spot. It's not working. I don't really know how to use that damn CPAP machine, and since we got it from a family friend and I didn't actually get prescribed one from a medical doctor, I was never taught how to use it. A CPAP machine is not the same as an oxygen machine. It's not there just to make sure you breathe. It's actually supposed to be therapeutic. It's supposed to go through different ups and downs, different levels of moisture at different points while you sleep. It has an SD card in there that records your sleep data that you're supposed to call in or take to a doctor. That stuff is supposed to be regulated, and it's not. So I think I'm not actually treating my sleep apnea. If anything, I might be harming myself. You had to watch a YouTube recap? You should have just watched the movie. I could send you a link for you to watch the movie free online without like one of those streaming services. Now we could do a watch party in the Discord. I love Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is one of those comfort movies I grew up with. I love it. We're going to switch out because I do not have the type advantage. Yeah, I guess I could Google it and find like a owner's manual or watch a YouTube tutorial on how to use it properly. Up until recently, I couldn't be bothered. I'm bad about medical stuff because I'm scared of medical stuff. It terrifies the fuck out of me. So I always have a ignore it until you can't ignore it anymore mentality, which is really bad. I know. It's really, really bad. But the longer I could prolong finding out I have something horribly wrong with me, the longer I tend to do it. I don't do that as much now, but I did that a lot when I was younger. It wasn't great. A lot of that has been fueled over the years by not having money. My entire life has been ruined by the fact that we've lived in poverty the way we have while watching the rich gallivant around the globe on their yachts and their airplanes. Because when I was a kid and we had health insurance, it was one thing. But as an adult in modern society without any health insurance, if I go to the doctor, they're going to find out something's wrong with me, and then they're going to tell me that I need access to health care that I can't get because I don't have money, because I don't have health insurance, because I don't have a job, and I can't get the job because of my terrible health, and I can't get rid of my terrible health without money. And it's a vicious fuck you cycle that I'm in, and I think millions and millions of people are in, especially in the United States. I think it's deplorable. I think it's evil. And I also don't see any way out of it because the masses have been brainwashed into thinking that universal health care is some sort of globalist elite propaganda thing by communists. You know, again, back to the lack of being taught critical thinking. It's done on purpose. They don't teach you critical thinking in schools because they need you to be dumb, complicit, compliant, and a working body in a factory. They don't need you reading. They don't want you learning. They don't want you figuring out that you're a slave to the system. They want you complacent, compliant. And I've tried to tell my parents that. I've tried to tell my sister that hey, you're being played. You're being told who to vote for. You're being told. You're having your hand cut off and told that it's good for you. That's what voting for the right in the United States is like. And a lot of times, even the left. But that's me in a nutshell. I'm always scared to go to the doctor because I'm going to need treatment that I don't have access to for some bullshit thing I didn't know I had. And it just adds to the... Let me die in my sleep. Whatever's going to get me, it's going to get me because I don't have access to healthcare. All right, Cheryl. I don't know if we're going to make it through this entire forest today. We've already been live for quite a while. But we'll play around for a minute. All right, oh, this is cool. Here's where we can start actually grinding Bidoof. She's going to be using a Chansey that's going to keep us healed. I wants me that Baneri. We're gonna go for the type advantage here. Bomb. I think I can catch it as long as there's only one Pokemon on the field. We'll find out. Okay, cool. We can catch him. My phone should be charged at this point. It's been charging ever since I got home. Its ears are always rolled up. They can be forcefully extended to shatter even large boulders. Ooh. But yeah, first thing I'm going to do is check in on Pokemon Go when I get done here. Speaking of which, I think we're pretty much done here for today. We had a pretty damn good stream today. We had a good long conversation. We made some progress. We got pretty far. I feel good about today. About to play a video game. All right. I don't know if I'll bother exercising. My vision's blurry as shit, and I'm half asleep. Like I said, I don't know if I don't think I have the energy. I get that, and I understand where you're coming from, and I understand what you're going for. But there are just some times where I have to kind of read the room with my body and listen to it. And right now it's saying, don't do it. Not today, not right now. Oh. All right. I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Whew. We'll get back on some Pokemon Soul Silver shortly. I don't know exactly what day. Like I said, I'm working on the living decks behind the scenes because that would just be too tedious to do on stream. Yeah, that's about it.